Hey, what is happening, guys? Rob here of Rule of Two Review, and today, some pretty cool information, actually a lot of information about Fire Emblem Warriors. So there's three pretty big pieces of news about Fire Emblem Warriors that have come out in the last few days, and some of it even today, which is really cool. Super caught a lot of us off guard, I think, but like I said, it's great news. The main thing that I'm taking away from all of this recent news is the release date. What was confirmed earlier today is that Fire Emblem Warriors will officially be launching on October 20th, which, wow, is much sooner than I think a lot of us probably anticipated. Now, the other thing I think a lot of us probably take note of when we see that release date is that it's a week before Super Mario Odyssey launches. And that is a curious choice. And in a lot of ways, it's maybe not the best choice. I think that that's probably a semi-fair thing to say. My attitude is I was going to buy and play the crap out of either of these games, so I was nothing but excited for the release of Mario Odyssey, and nothing but excited to learn when Fire Emblem Warriors was finally going to be launching. I want great Switch games, any great game, but specifically Switch games. I want them almost as soon as I can get them, and obviously, we all have the ability to run into video game overload, and we don't have enough maybe time to be able to get to games as much as we want, and as quickly as we want, and maybe some of us even struggle with the money of buying so many games. That part certainly sucks. But for me, I knew I was going to buy either game anyway, and even though I'm too busy to have two brand new games at the same time, I'm still excited. I'm excited that Fire Emblem Warriors is coming so much sooner than I was probably expecting. My guess was probably November. I think a lot of people were probably assuming around November, and maybe we're all thinking Xenoblade would then become that December game. But revealing that Fire Emblem Warriors is coming October 20th kind of changes the whole game plan up. You know, I could have sort of seeing it being like a September game, maybe coming a little bit even earlier than we were thinking. And sure, that would have been totally fine, I guess. I mean, I would have obviously been excited about that as well. But that would have also put it within, you know, the same sort of space as Metroid Samus Returns. And I feel like Nintendo is thinking, well, we're kind of screwed no matter what we do, so I guess we'll just pick the October time. I don't know what it means. Maybe it's going to prove to be a problem for Fire Emblem Warriors sales. I hope it doesn't. But at the end of the day, that's the date, October 20th, sooner than I think we thought. The other thing that was announced right alongside the release date that really surprised a lot of people is that there is going to be a special edition for the game, and in a crazy twist of fate, it's actually coming to North America. And man, that feels so good because that just never happens with Nintendo games that get all these cool, fancy special editions. So rarely, these last couple of years, have they been coming over to the States. Some of the best stuff we've seen, even in the UK. And it's been pretty frustrating for a lot of us over here in the United States and Canada and this territory. Like, we want this stuff and we would happily pay for it a lot of the times. And this is one of those rare instances where Nintendo's sort of throwing us a bone. I think they've seen how the Fire Emblem a franchise has really been growing and growing in North America, and the audience is getting bigger, and they're buying the games like crazy. They're buying the DLC. I'm sure that that's something that lends to something like this happening. I think Nintendo is seeing all the supplementary purchases surrounding Fire Emblem have been doing really well over here, and that's really great news. I would assume something similar is probably going to show up in other territories as well, and maybe it was even announced for a worldwide release. I don't think it yet has. I think it's just been for North America so far, but really exciting. Now, I did a little bit of quick research. I don't think the price has been released for this yet. At least as of the time of this recording, I couldn't find a price. So my guess is going to be $79.99. What it includes, by the way, is it includes the special edition 3 CDs, obviously a soundtrack, a dual-sided poster, and 25 character art cards. So it's a bunch of, you know, typical sort of special edition stuff, especially for Nintendo games. I will tell you, I'm actually not interested in the special edition myself. I think it looks great. I think it's great that we're getting something like this in North America where we typically don't. And I think it's great that it's coming for a game that I'm extremely excited for. But for some reason, Fire Emblem Warriors on the Switch doesn't feel like a game I really needed a special edition for, just for me personally. And even seeing the stuff that's coming with it, it's cool, but it doesn't totally make me want to jump and just go crazy with it. Now, a couple of days ago, there was one other really interesting piece of news surrounding the actual gameplay of Fire Emblem Warriors, and I think this is fantastic. It was confirmed that Fire Emblem Warriors is going to allow you, the player, to choose between resolution and frame rate. And this is a big deal for many, many reasons. One, because it's obviously great for gameplay options and for the ability to play the game maybe in a way that people maybe prefer. And because, two, this is something that we would never typically see coming from Nintendo. Like, Nintendo's not normally a company that pays attention to that stuff to the point of allowing the player to be able to choose what's going on, but I think it's great. What it reminds me of is a game that launched earlier this year that I absolutely loved, which was Nioh on the PlayStation 4, very Dark Souls inspired sort of Japanese samurai kind of game that is so very good. And this has probably happened many times before for a console game, but for myself, on a console game, not PC games, but on a console game, I had never seen the ability to do this, to choose between a higher resolution or a higher frame rate. What you can do in Fire Emblem Warriors, which is also what you could do in Nioh, is you can choose two settings to play the game. One, the game is going to be 30 frames per second, but it will be in 1080p when docked, or you can change the game to be in 720p when docked, but it'll run in 60 frames per second. And that is really exciting, and it's very smart for Fire Emblem Warriors, because anyone who understands these Musou games, or who play like Hyrule Warriors, which is my only experience with this kind of game, the Dynasty Warriors. Is it Musou or Mushu, however you pronounce that? Maybe it's Muso. Either way, the Dynasty Warriors kind of gameplay, where there's hundreds of enemies on screen, and you're just devastating them in quick succession with crazy combos, lots of effects, lots of quick movements, and very heavy animations, with a lot of characters on screen at one time. To be able to play a game like this in 60 frames per second is perfect. That is the way to do it. And it's like, obviously, the developers, Nintendo, everyone who works on this game understand that if we're going to get the best out of this project and make it the best version it could possibly be, we need to at least make this an option. And the fact that gamers are going to be able to choose is great. I can't imagine why anyone would want to sacrifice the frame rate for the resolution. Some people really care about resolution. To me, it's like, I care about the graphics more than the resolution part of it, but that's just me. And again, with this kind of game, all you need is the 60 frames per second. You can sacrifice some of the resolution. I mean, 720 and 1080, can we even really see the difference anyway? Some people may claim they can, and if you can, then great. You have superhuman seeing, and that's fun for you. I don't think I can see the difference, and even if I could, I still wouldn't care. I'm really excited to see that happening with this game, and I'm excited to see Nintendo making such a gamer-centric, gamer-first kind of decision for one of their big Switch games. I think it's going to be really neat. So yeah, that's it. Some pretty interesting details around Fire Emblem Warriors. Like I said, for me, October 20th, man, really exciting to finally get the release date for the game. You know, some of the later holiday releases for the Switch, we're finally starting to get into that territory. I mean, heck, we obviously have Samus Returns for the 3DS coming soon. Mario plus Rabbids comes out tomorrow from the date of this recording. And then Fire Emblem, Xenoblade, Mario, all right around the corner, man. And even Skyrim is going to be coming soon, which I'm very excited for. Great stuff, man. This first calendar year for the Switch is going to be wrapping up really strong, man. I'm just really excited. I can't wait to see it. So what do you guys think about all these details about Fire Emblem Warriors? Are you excited for the game? Are you not excited for the game? Do you think this stuff is all great? Are you interested in the special edition? Maybe you don't care about that stuff. Of course, share your thoughts below. That's it for this time, guys. Thanks as always for tuning in. This is Rob of Roll of Review, and I will catch you next time on another video.